Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the first issue of Ultimate Origin. Now, Ultimate Origin is meant to tell the origins of Ultimate Wolverine, Hulk, Magneto, and some of the other characters sharing their origins. And this one is meant to share the origin of how the mutants were created. Now, keep in mind, in the Ultimate comics, we did have Ultimate X-Men that ran for 100 issues. It was later revealed in the Ultimate Origin series, as well as Ultimatum, that mutants were the genetic experiments of a crazed doctor. And I think that makes more sense in the Ultimate Universe, given its realistic setting. And the cover is meant to be a variant edition, with Ultimate Wolverine with his claws and everything else. And the story picks up with during the events of Ultimate Team Up, with Banner saying, "Listen, it's all connected. That's it. That's the secret." What is? Secret to what? And then we hear basically the lights coming on and the doors opening, and it's Ultimate General Ross saying, "Time to put on your collar, Dr. Banner." Great. Where were you, like, a million years ago? And of course, we see how Banner starts to get angry and breaks out as the Hulk, leaving Peter to kind of hold on to a piece of wood. And we see how many years ago, during the events of World War II, we see how everyone's on the front lines against the Germans. We even see a prototype Captain America saying, "This is for our freedom!" "What is that? I don't know. Aim for it!" And of course, they shoot down the prototype Captain America, which leaves the people at the White House disappointed with the results, and that they need an actual super soldier that can kick ass. And of course, we see how at 1 year later, at the Allied invasion of Sicily, we see how Ultimate Nick Fury is with Ultimate Wolverine and one of Fisk's relatives breaking out of a safe, stealing some cash and that. And you can tell Ultimate Nick Fury does have some regrets about this, but we see how one of the soldiers catches them and has them sort of taken out and calling them out for basically stealing goods. And we see how Ultimate Fist tries to get away, and we see how they're loaded onto the truck, and we see how Ultimate Wolverine tries to put up a fight and knock him out. And of course, leaving Ultimate Nick Fury to be sort of sentenced into a sort of prison cell. And of course, knowing that he kind of screwed up big time. And we see how a unnamed professor picks one of the test subjects, which is going to be Nick Fury. And of course, this is where we see the Ultimate Origins version of Ultimate Nick Fury being one of the test subjects for the serum. And of course, we see how he pretty much does a sort of dose in that. And after doing some tests, we see how Nick Fury goes full rage mode, and everyone's saying, "Stations, everyone! Oh my god!" And we kind of see how Nick Fury gets out single-handedly and making a break for it, saying, "Doctor, everyone hold! Information! Doctor!" And of course, we see how Nick Fury goes full rage mode, kicking asses and that, and breaks through, and gets everyone out alive, the other potential test subjects, leaving them off into the streets. And they decide to kind of call on their next plan, which is taking place in 1943, how Wolverine tries to make a break for it, tries to get out, but gets gunned down, which turns out he now has a healing factor, showing how, unlike main Marvel Wolverine, Ultimate Wolverine is actually an experiment. And, of course, the Watchers in this universe aren't meant to be giant beings, but instead floating stones. And we see how Dr. Cornelius, 3 years later, has kind of tested the sort of genes in that, and of course are worried about the other potential spreads. But of course, they say how James Hewitt is Mutant Zero, which is the starting point of Ultimate Wolverine's origin and the origin to the mutants. So yeah, this one I would say issue 1 is okay. Like I said, it's mainly covering everyone's origins, and some characters did get their stories told in prequels or in-betweens, and so on. And I get the Ultimate Universe was meant to sort of be a more realistic, more grounded universe, while the main Marvel Universe was more kind of a superhero-ish storyline. So I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.